The Super Bowl 50 champion Denver Broncos are teetering on the brink of elimination and could be dealt a fatal blow with a loss on Christmas to the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, December 5th in Week 16 NFL action. Kansas City is favored by 4 to pick up this win and clinch a spot in the playoffs, with the potential of winning the AFC West next week. Denver hasn't been the disappointment that some people were expecting this season. Some people were expecting a significant drop-off after the retirement of Payton Manning and the loss of Malik and Trevathan. The Broncos are still alive at 8-6 both straight up and against the spread, while the Chiefs are 10-4 straight up and right around 500 against the spread. The Chiefs suffered just their second loss since October 2nd in last week's game against the Titans, while the Broncos have now dropped 3 of their last 4. A lot of things have happened to hurt the Broncos this season. Trevor Siemian hasn't stayed healthy throughout the year due to shoddy line play and the absence of a running game. The offense has been putrid with Paxton Lynch in the game, as the former Memphis quarterback and 2016 first-round draft pick has had some problems adjusting to the pro game. All things considered, Trevor Siemian hasn't been that bad, especially since he wasn't considered a high-ceiling guy coming out of Northwestern. He's completed over 61% of his throws with a 60-8 touchdown interception ratio. Broncos quarterbacks have been sacked 40 times with the lack of offensive line play. Perhaps more was expected with weapons like Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, but both have had 1,000-yard seasons. The Broncos have rushed for just 3.6 yards per carry on the season. You can't really ask for much more than this defense has done. The rush defense has been hurt by some losses, including the loss of Trevathan, but that may be more about fatigue than anything else. The Broncos have allowed 4.2 yards per carry this season, and only the 49ers and Browns have faced more rushing attempts. The secondary has limited the opposition to a 53.8% completion rate, which is the best in the league by nearly 5%. Denver has 23 takeaways, but the offense has struggled to convert those points, and that's why the Broncos are on the verge of losing a postseason. The Kansas City Chiefs have been one of the most fortunate teams in the NFL this season. Good teams do make their own breaks, but the Chiefs also lead the NFL in takeaways with 28 and have a 10-4 record despite being outgained by over 600 yards. It helps to take care of the football, and Alex Smith only had 2,994 yards on his 282 completions, but he has only thrown 6 interceptions. The Chiefs are 25th in passing touchdowns with just 15 and 16th in rushing touchdowns with 12. But they are a 10-4 team because they do take care of the football, control the clock, and stifle the opposition. Kansas City has found a new toy in Tyreek Hill, who has rushed for 157 yards on 15 tries and has 56 receptions for 547 yards. He's been a great complement to Travis Kelce, Spencer Ware, and Charcandrick West, as Jamal Charles sits out on the sidelines with injury issues. Kansas City's base defense is pretty average overall. They have allowed 5.6 yards per play, which is right around the league average. Opponents have completed just 60.2% of their passes, which ranks tied for 5th in the NFL. But they have limited big plays on catches and have had a significant amount of big plays of their own. Only 5 teams have had more interceptions than the Chiefs, who have 15. Kansas City's run defense has had problems, however, with Derek Johnson out and Justin Houston is seemingly questionable every week. The second level is not great for the Chiefs, who have allowed 4.4 yards per carry on the season. The Chiefs look like a very misleading 10-4 team, but the matchup means everything here this week. The matchup advantage may lean slightly to the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Broncos have their backs up against the wall. The Chiefs do not, but they'd still like to finish this thing off right away rather than back into the playoffs. And they will already know whether or not the AFC West is a possibility as Oakland plays on Saturday. For Denver, this is a good matchup as they face a lackluster offense that they can handle and a defense that they moved the ball on earlier in the season. Our pick and prediction is for the Denver Broncos at +4.